relationship or the progress of relationship does not lie with the man. It lies with the woman. That is why it is easy to get a man. It is difficult to retain him. When you want to get married to a Nigerian man, understand this. You are not partners. He may say it, but his actions will be different. Nigerian men are not partners with you if they want to get married to you. In the sight of an African man, what an African man wants mostly is respect. There is nothing, absolutely nothing that you can give to an African man that is beyond respect. The moment an African man believes that respect is taken out of the relationship, he would walk away. The ones who stay when you disrespect them are the ones who wants to get something from you. If they truly are invested in you, do not joke with disrespect to an African man. You want to enjoy this particular information that I'm about to share with you, Nigerians, and you have not subscribed to my channel. We just got to 1,000 subscribers. You haven't. Why are you watching me? Don't watch this video if you are not going to subscribe. Subscribe and then enjoy the lessons in it. Western people, I come with you with the answers you're looking for in dating a Nigerian man. On today's episode, we are discussing on how you can get an African or Nigerian man if you are in the Western culture and you seek to have a strong relationship with a Nigerian man. Today's episode is going to be covering that. But before we proceed, I have to become the African man. Welcome to today's episode. Yeah, you're welcome to today's episode. Today I want to be breaking down how you can get married to a Nigerian man. And my specific attire that you can see on me is a Yoruba tribe culture in Nigeria. If you have the desire to get married to a Nigerian man, there are few things you need to bear in mind when you want to get in love or in relationship with these people. I am making this video just to educate those who are interested in having relationship with a Nigerian man, and maybe in other episode I will touch on how you can get married to a Nigerian woman if you are interested and you are in diaspora. You need to ask yourself this question: why do I want a Nigerian man in the first place? There is a lot of rumors, which some of them are true, that most Nigerian men are scammers, they are fraudsters and the rest of it. But it doesn't change the idea, or it doesn't change the reality that there are a lot of them also who are good, who have traditions and culture, who are diligent in what they do. So if you have it at the back of your mind that you want a Nigerian man, then you need to ask yourself, why would you want such kind of men? The men who are strong in what they do. Because an African man does not break himself just to please anyone. Some people might desire a Nigerian man because you think they are nice. Yes, they are. You think they love you. Yes, they do. They might. But you need to bear it in mind that dating a Nigerian man, you have to open up your mind to the possibility of who they are and what they actually stand for. There are three tribes that makes Nigeria what it is: the Yoruba, the Hausas, and the Igbos. Let me talk to you about the Igbos before I go through the things that you can use in getting to understand how you can get married to a Nigerian man. Let's talk about the Igbo tribes. The Igbos are men in that particular side of Nigeria. These men always want to take charge of everything. They want to take care of everything around them. This is what African men stand for. But Igbos are extreme in the way they do their things, in the fact that I want to please my woman. In a sense, I would provide where she stays. Most times they want their wife to be full housewife. Most times they want their wife not to do anything. They just want to take care of everything about their wife. Now you might see some of them who are also willing to work with their woman. Maybe the woman is kind of independent and she have other things going on in her life. Some Igbo men might be able to think about it and say, okay, maybe if I want to mingle with a woman in diaspora, I have to give her that liberty. But most likely, a lot of them in their 40s and 50s or 45s and the rest of it, they really want to take care of their woman. fully. So the question is this: if they tell you this is how they want to move, you have to move that way if you want to stay with them. Because if they feel that taking care of their woman gives them the right to be able to tell how the family should go. Now, don't misquote me. They are not trying to control your life. They are trying to see it in the best way, because what Africans love the most is to promote family. Family is what matters to an African man. Now, we are having some fuckboys out there who are having different perspectives. But majority of Africans will still want to move this way. In fact, even those guys who tend to be the fuckboys also want to take care of their women and do a lot of things. Only few of them who are not matured enough might play in all those roles. So Igbos, they want to be in control. The next one we will talk about is the Hausas. If you are in diaspora and you want to get married to a Nigerian, do you want to get married to an Hausa? An Hausa are the kind of people who have religious belief. If you are trying to stay with an Igbo or an Hausa person, you have to ask, am I willing to understand their culture and traditions? Because the religion of the Hausas really plays a role in your relationship. If you are not willing to follow their religious beliefs, because the Hausas are more religious than any other culture in Africa. So you have to ask yourself, what religion do you practice? And what religion does he practice? And if you are not a believer of his religion, you cannot most likely work with the Hausas. They are nice, they are mostly in the political space, and there are a lot of people, they also love to take care of their women. But the reality is that they would make sure that you as a woman that wants to be part of their life, you believe mostly in their religion. On the Igbo side, Igbo may not mind if you are going to church or the rest of it. No, Igbo just want to take care of you. As long as you are doing certain things that moves with their tribes and culture, you respect his tribes and culture. And you know that he is the man, he wants to take good care of you, and he wants the relationship to go in a certain kind of way. Now, back to this aspect of the tribe I came from, the Yorubas. Yorubas, they have also their own tribe and culture. And in their tribes and in the culture of Yoruba, some of them want to take care of their women, but Yorubas are mostly the tribes in Nigeria that are flexible in the way they approach their women. They are flexible in a sense that they can easily understand women from different places, understand your position, because Yorubas are mostly the peacemakers of Nigeria. If not because of the Yorubas, the Hausas and the Igbos would be separated. In fact, despite the fact that Yorubas are there, they are still divided. Yoruba is the one that keeps the peace between the two traditions. And that shows that Yorubas, in a sense, always want to mitigate and always want to understand where you are coming from and try to find a balance in between. Now, this does not mean that the Yorubas are better than the Igbos or the Hausas. This is just how they perceive life. The Igbos are more cultural. The Hausas are more religious. The Yorubas also are very cultural and traditional. But the differences are that they can always understand. They can negotiate. A Yoruba culture is the one that can always negotiate with you. They have certain lines that they would not cross, but they most likely would negotiate relationship with you or relationship standards with you. This does not mean they are better than any of these two tribes. And I'm not asking you to pick the Yorubas. I'm not asking you to pick the Igbos. Neither am I asking you to pick the Hausas. I'm saying, before you as a woman in diaspora or in the Western culture can get married to a Nigerian man, you need to understand that if it is not a Yoruba man, you most likely will be dating other people who you might not be able to negotiate with. Yorubas are the easiest people to negotiate with. In cultural values, in the insight of religion, you can get married to a Yoruba man who practices Ifa, who practices their cultural things, and they may allow you to go to church. It can happen in the side of the Igbos, but the Igbos take their tradition and culture very serious. Just like December, most Igbos will travel back to their home, to their village, no matter where they are in the world, because they take their traditions and culture very serious. The Hausas, the same thing. But the Yorubas, they always have a way to negotiate. They might say, this year we will go to my family's place. Next year, let's go to your family's place. They are the most negotiating people in Nigeria, as far as I know. Now, let's go to the subject on how to get an African or Nigerian man. To get a Nigerian man, you need to ask yourself, what stage are you in life? Like I said earlier, you need to understand the cultural values of each Nigerian man that you meet. Today, I may not tell you where you would meet them, but I will tell you the basic things you need to understand first before you make that decision that you want to come for a Nigerian man. You need to be able to understand their cultural values. And one thing that these three tribes have in common is that they have high value on family. Family is the highest thing that they have value for, that they respect. It is a no negotiation when it comes to family. Now, when it comes to that aspect, they may say they have their children, or they are looking at you as family collectively. They are looking at your own family, and they are looking at their own family. Now, when they are looking at their own family, it simply means that you have to respect the family of a Nigerian man. So in the aspect of the Nigerian man, you need to understand that you have to respect their cultural values, and which is their cultural values is based on family. Family that you want to build with them, your own family, and their own family. So these are three families. You may say it's your family and their family, but I think it's three families. That means you are bringing out yours as a family. You have to have a background, and they have to have a background. In fact, I will tell you this. A Nigerian man would not so much respect a woman that does not introduce him to a family. He would most likely see himself as, maybe we are just using ourselves. Maybe we are just benefiting off each other. Until you take a Nigerian man to your family and he brings you to his family, you have no deal yet. You both are just still trying to figure out things between yourself. So, family value is highly recommended that you understand that he wants it. Then the second, you have to show an African man respect, and this is where the problem is. You see, in the Western culture, most people believe in equality, and I tell people that in society, I do not buy what society actually says. If society tells you it's red, just look at it very well and you might see blue. In the idea that we are equal in the eyes of the law, we are equal in the sight of God, but we are not equal in the way we negotiate and we see each other. We can be understanding. We can try to communicate. We may try to respect each other. We may love each other and cherish each other, but that does not mean that we are equal, because there is also a power dynamic. There is also communication dynamic and things that plays role, because even nature itself treats us differently. And because nature treats men and women differently, women go through certain circles and certain things in their life. Men go through certain things in their life. And the way we evolve are totally different, even if they are similar in many ways. So are we the same? No. Are we the same in the sight of law? Yes, but not the same in the aspect of how we actually view each other. In the sight of an African man, what an African man wants mostly is respect. There is nothing, absolutely nothing that you can give to an African man that is beyond respect. I do not care how wealthy you might be. The moment an African man believes that respect is taken out of the relationship, he would walk away. The ones who stay when you disrespect them are the ones who wants to get something from you. If they truly are invested in you, do not joke with disrespect to an African man. He is going to turn 360 or 90 degree and is moving, or 120 and is moving straight to the next person. And this is the thing that you can't break an African man by disrespecting him. No. You can only break a Western man by disrespecting him, and he loves you and he wants to negotiate with you. An African man, you cannot disrespect him and break him through it. Once he feels disrespected, he walks away. So how do you show respect to an African man? You're being stupid, you're naughty, you're this, you're that. A lot of people take it as if it's a joke. An African man may take it lightly with you when you are telling him that, oh, honey, what you did today was silly, it's stupid, because he's still dating you. The moment he's married to you and totally committed to you, those things have to be taken out of your statement. So if you're thinking to get married to a Nigerian man, you have to start removing that language from your mouth if perhaps it is there. Stupid, idiot, anything that sounds abusive, a Nigerian man would never accept it. Because of what? Because they cherish respect so much beyond any other thing you can give to a Nigerian man. You can take money from a Nigerian man in marriage, he doesn't care. You may play with any other thing, he doesn't care. Once you become disrespectful, hell is loosed. But the hell that is loosed is he ain't going to fight you. He's not going to fight you. He would walk away. Simple. So how you address him makes him feel that he is in control of that relationship. And here is what I always say. When you want to get married to a Nigerian man, understand this. You are not partners. There are a lot of guys, you might hear their statements in Nigeria that they will say, me and my wife, we are partners. That person must be messed up psychologically. When I use the word messed up, is that he has to be removed from Nigerian culture to a certain degree for him to believe that you are partners. He may say it, but his actions will be different. Nigerian men are not partners with you if they want to get married to you. They are in control. You are their wife. There is no partnership there. You are not running a business. It is that he is a leader of that relationship. You are his queen. You are his wife. You are a second. And that means you are the next person to him. He would give you the whole world, open his heart to you, and want to defend you with everything he has. Once that understanding is there, that he is leading. Now, that doesn't mean you guys cannot negotiate. That will take me to the next one. You have to be supportive when you are dating a Nigerian man. Nigerian men love support. Support in a sense that some people will say financial support. Some of them will tell you that no, they need emotional support. Some of them will tell you all kinds of support. But the support I am actually addressing is the support that he knows that you are there through the thin and the thick time. Fat, good, blessed, every time you are there for him. Not the issue that maybe he's going through certain challenges in life and then you are like, oh, you have to, rather than you to make peace for him, you are making things worse for him. A Nigerian man will not tolerate it. Now, he may tolerate, let me not even use the word, he would not accommodate it. He would tolerate it initially because he's going through that hard time. But when he get out of that hard time, he will remind you of everything you've done to him when he was going through the challenges. Nigerian men, don't forget, whatever you do to them, they always remember and they always play back what you have done. So you have to be careful that when he's going through the hard time of his life, everyone will go through a hard time of their life. If you try to emasculate a Nigerian man, there is going to be problem that he will remind you of how you treated him and he will walk away. Simple. The other one is communication. Communication in a Nigerian man, when you want to have communication with him, we like to be addressed by respect, just like what I said earlier. Respect is the key. You have to be clear on what you want when you are speaking to a Nigerian man. But in the communication side, you don't make a demand, you request. Did I make it clear? If you want to date a Nigerian man and you want to communicate and have effective communication with him, you don't make a demand, you make a request. When he sees that you're trying to be demanding and you are trying to be authoritative, he's going to turn black. Some of our women today in Nigerians are also having this same issue because they are now buying into the Western culture. Now, no matter, this is one thing I want you to understand, no matter how you break every culture or every kind of people, there are certain cultures of certain people that you can't break, the men in that culture. A Nigerian man, regardless of how you have money, this is the reason why most Western women who date Nigerian will tell you, they are this, they are that. Because they would not break themselves just to suit the narration of the Western culture. Now, I'm not saying they are the superior and you are the inferior. No, it is that this is the dynamic at which they use in operating. So in the aspect of communication, you have to be clear. You have to let it look like, I want to rub mind with you, my husband. This is what I am thinking. The moment you are able to brush that his ego side a little bit and you know how to handle a Nigerian man's ego, you have the man. If you don't know how to handle a Nigerian man's ego, you have problem. It's simple. Because I want you to understand this. A lot of you will say, if you insecure, is insecure, he has an ego issue. Men have died, men go to war. A lot of things happen because of what? Because of ego. We are stronger than you, we are better than you, we will do this, we will do that. Ego is always part of war. Ego is part of tribe. Ego is part of everything. We are not completely logical creatures, we are emotional and logical. Emotion rule over logic. So men invest, you might say, oh, it's ego this, ego that, ego whatever you might call it. But if he finds out that rather than you having communication to request and say, this is how I think we should work. And most likely, if you request from a Nigerian man, they would try their best to please you. A Nigerian man wants to please you. He runs away when he knows he cannot please you. If a Nigerian man cannot please you sexually, he runs. If a Nigerian man cannot please you financially and is trying his best and you're just being ungrateful, he would run. If a Nigerian man tries to have communication with you and you're disrespecting him, he would run. Nigerian men don't most likely like having challenges or fracas with their women. A Yoruba tribe will even try and have some issues with you. You see the Hausas and the Igbos. They operate a little bit different. That way, if you cannot persuade me, you can control me. That's how an African Nigerian man specifically sees things. The next one is independence. If you want to be with a Nigerian man, you need to understand that he loves you being independent. And I know that it will be easier for women if they don't have that mindset of partnership. But the aspect that most of you try to be independent, to own your own things and do your own things, African men like it. In fact, it is part of our culture until our women start getting misled, indoctrinated through education. Now our women always, our women in Africa now are just becoming wealthy, and some of them are just learning how to make money. And so because they are just learning to be wealthy, the thing is going into their head and they want to fight their men. And right now, if you go on social media, a lot of them are crying that they need the Nigerian man, but a Nigerian man would not break. A Nigerian man would rather die not having sex than to have sex and you disrespect him because he's having an affair with you. Nigerian men don't. Now, I'm not saying you wouldn't find any who will do those kind of things, but they are strong in their beliefs and the blood still moves around them. So independence, Nigerian men love it. If you're independent, you're good to go. Religion. Like I told you earlier, the Hausas is not negotiable. The Igbos, you may negotiate. The Yorubas, you can negotiate. And lastly, one thing above all that makes you being able to get a Nigerian man is patience. Patience is the biggest key. I might be good today, I might learn to communicate, I might know a lot of things that I don't know before, I might be gentle now, I might be a lot of things. But the only way my family still exists today is basically because my wife is patient. The secret of relationship or the progress of relationship does not lie with the man. It lies with the woman. That is why It is easy to get a man. It is difficult to retain him. My wife till date, the most supportive person in my life. And there's a reason why men don't like a woman demanding, even if you're supporting. It makes them feel like you are their mother. And when they feel that you are their mother, they don't want to have sex with their mother. So they will avoid you. Are you getting it? Patience. You have to see things about a Nigerian man and understand that there are certain ways he goes. Now, in that ways he moves, if you see things that you don't like, you have to negotiate. In fact, let me put it to you. Yesterday, I have to renounce myself. I removed myself from the landlord's platform in our estate. You know why I did it? My wife was just pleading with me. Please, I don't want you to have fight with this organization. Please, I don't want you to fight these people. Oh, the persuasion was just so much that I had to remove myself, and I tell the old landlords that I have done what I need to do. I've liberated you people to a certain degree and I know where I'm going. But bear this in mind that I am removing myself from the platform. I had to remove not because of anything, but because my wife is persuading so much. And I know if I was on the platform, I would be striking everybody who messed up. But if she had come on the other way and she's like, oh, blah, 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 which she knows exactly the kind of person she's married to. If you can persuade us, we will go towards your direction. Though we will tell you where we are going to, but we'll find a way to work with you. If you can't persuade and you feel like you want to be authoritative, then business over. Bear this in mind when you make a decision to date a Nigerian man, because these are the realities of it. Have a blessed day. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel. Subscribe, like, and share. In the next episode, we are going to be discussing on where to get a Nigerian man if you're seeking. Your comments are highly welcome. Every comment is highly welcome in this particular topic. Have a blessed day. See you. Bye-bye. Adios, amigos.